Hey Facebook, we're getting started. We'll just be a moment before we're getting going on Zoom as well. Hang in there. Alrighty. All right. Well, welcome in. Little by little, the room's going to be filling up here. We're going to give people a chance to jump in, jump on, and load up this Zoom meeting. Welcome in, everybody. By the way, we have a lot of people registered for tonight, and I don't know what our total attendance is going to look like, but if you have friends out there that you know are trying to get in on this webinar that can't get in because the room fills, I am also broadcasting on Facebook, so I've got a dual broadcast going on. So if you have trouble with the Facebook feed or you can't get in on Facebook, I want to welcome anybody, or you can't get in on Zoom, I want to welcome anybody that wants to pop in by way of Facebook as well. So little by little, we're getting filled up here. We're going to get started. We got a minute till 8 o'clock. Those that know me know I'm a kind of a stickler for being on time, starting on time, running on time, respecting other people's time. Those are kind of some of my principles when it comes to some of these things. So we will respect the time of those that have chosen to join us here this evening. Hope everybody had a great day. And while we're just letting everybody continue to filter in, let's cover a little bit of the expectations for tonight. We're here on Zoom, and as many of you know, because we've all gotten really used to playing on Zoom, from time to time we have challenges with connections or stability with the connection. If for any reason, if I freeze up, lock up, or go away, stick around, hang around, don't go anywhere. I will be back. Now, everybody out there in listener land has been automatically muted because this is not a webinar format, it's a meeting format, but I've muted everybody because, as you well know from your Zoom experiences, there's always somebody who's got a partner in the house who decides it's time to empty the dishwasher or, you know, sort the silverware or something like that. So in the interest of everybody being able to hear in a respectful manner, we got everybody muted. But chat is open. So somebody by the name of iPad has already found their way into chat to say hello, Ivan. I appreciate that. I think I know who that is. I'm looking at the picture there, and that very well may be my good friend Sam Birch, but can't tell, but it looks like his name is iPad. But chat is open, so feel free to use that. My wife will be monitoring that a little bit. You've got questions? I hope I have some answers, and we'll try to cover a little bit of that as well. But it's a 1 moment after 8 o'clock, and we are actually here. We are online. We are in place, and we are good to go. So welcome in, everybody. Those of you that know me, I'm Ivan. Those of you that don't know me, I'm Ivan. It's not that complicated. And this is my webinar, my free program on my predictions for the future of haircutting. I've been polishing up my crystal ball, as good as mine can be. I've also had the benefit, by virtue of my role in the business, with my classes, my seminars, my outreach, my social, and things like that, I get to hear from a lot of people across the country about what's going on, how things are going in their shops and in their business situations. I get a lot of that contact going on out there. So I get a little extra insight, I think, that maybe not everybody, because I hear from people that are in Texas or in Florida or in Montana asking me, what's going on out there? What are you hearing out there? So that was a little bit of what drove me to put together this program. So I've got my big top 10 list. Before we go there, I do want to honor and respect tradition. And I feel like I should do the Pledge of Allegiance before grammar school, but we're not going to go there. We're going to go here. We're going to go to $100,000 Hair Cutter because it's become a tradition in my programming that classes start with the daily reading from the $100,000 Hair Cutter book. So we turn to today and we read today. We do that every time we do a class. Now, We had a class on Monday morning. For those of you that don't know my current schedule, I will review that. What I've begun doing since coronavirus, I've been doing daily programming and weekly programming. We're now in a mode of what we call topic of the week. I have one topic every week, which is the topic of the week. And I address it throughout the week in a variety of different places. Monday, it's a live class on my Facebook page. Tuesday, it's a text blog on my website at ivanzoot.com. Wednesday, it's a live meeting, and all of you, any of you that wish, are invited to join. The meeting links are posted to my Facebook pages. We hold a live Zoom meeting every Wednesday night, and we address, among other things, the topic of the week. Thursday is a video on the YouTube channel, and Friday is an audio podcast post. So we're doing audio, video, blogging, meetings, and classes, covering this deep dive into every week's topic of the week. We will do that throughout those things. But we always start these classes with the reading from $100,000 Haircutter. For those of you that know the book, one idea a day, every single day for 365 days. We turn to today. Today is July 27. 208 days remaining in the year. Day 208 of the year, with 157 days remaining. And the tip of the day, hold up a quarter. Hold up a quarter. Proper finger position for clipper over comb. If you've ever been in a class with me, I usually have a quarter as a prop. And I talk about holding a quarter by the edges. And I talk about holding our clipper comb that very same way. No coincidence that the handle on the Zoot comb is the width of a clipper comb. Hold up that quarter. If you don't have a quarter, if you don't have that quarter, hold up a pretend make-believe quarter and you slip your comb in like that. What we want to avoid doing is what we call surface gripping. That's where you've got your thumb on the surface of the comb. That requires that twisting motion at the wrist, which causes a problem here, which causes a problem here at the shoulder. Thumb and forefinger to control your pitch. And a quarter is the reminder and the key to that. So that's your $100,000 Haircutter tip of the day. A little free bonus education to start things off. A little something on top of everything we have in store for you in the class. Now that one's a haircutting tip, but the book is loaded. Sales, marketing, advertising, promotion, hiring, training, shop culture, you name it, it's all in here. ivanzoot.com if you don't already have a copy. So that's that book, and that's our tip of the day. Let's get into my top 10 list of predictions for the future of the professional beauty industry. Now, I do want to share that not all of this is about coronavirus. I think many of us have been, no pun intended, corona'd to death. Okay? We've heard from and talked about a lot of coronavirus. And it's very real. There are people very sick. Fortunately, there are people recovering. Coronavirus is now messing with baseball. Here we go with that. But not all of my predictions are entirely based on what's happening now with regards to coronavirus. Certainly, the impact of coronavirus on our industry, short term, and ultimately bigger picture long term, plays into this conversation of predictions. So let's get into it. The future of haircutting. If you're going to be in this business for the next decade, you'll be able to come back and check up on me and say, hey, I remember Ivan. I remember that class on future predictions. It's sometimes fun to look back and find out if the predictors were accurate or not. I look forward to hearing from each and every one of you in 2029 to confirm whether I was on the ball or whether I was just making stuff up. We'll see. Number one, the future of the haircut business. Haircuts are going to be slower. Obviously, there's an element of this that relates to coronavirus when it comes to the need for executing proper sanitation principles, even though many of us will holler from the rooftops, hey, we've been good about sanitation all along. Some people have, some people have not. But the reality is, sanitation principles and practices are slowing us down. The lack of a waiting room is slowing us down. Our ability to move clients through the system, even the cash out, checkout process, has slowed things down. Consultations have slowed down. And I don't think this is unique to coronavirus. I think it happened in 2016 with the presidential election. I think it happened in 2008 with an economic slowdown. I think it happens a lot. Conversation slows things down. We found, especially after the lockouts in a lot of states, I was hearing from a lot of professionals who said, when people come in for haircuts, they need to talk first. Not that we don't talk to people, we haven't always been talking to people, but I heard many reports of people saying, whether it was the result of social distancing, or isolation, or anxiety, fear, and concern associated with coronavirus, when people came to us, relationships, trusted people, people with whom we confided, when people came to us in this business, they wanted, and they desperately needed to talk and to be heard and to listen. And those conversations, which so many of us understand, are so vital and fundamental to what happens in our industry, became a little more important. So, for a lot of the reasons I've described, and probably some of you have thoughts and ideas that we haven't discussed, haircuts are going to be slower. Productivity is going to be down. Chair turns are going to take longer. And there's going to be more of them, or fewer of them. It's going to be harder to turn the chair. All right, prediction number 2, tied into that conversation, tied into this issue of haircuts will be slower. Haircuts will cost more to deliver. The cost of doing business always goes up. All right, guys, here's a prediction. Out of my 10 predictions for the future, I have been making the statement, haircuts are going to cost more to deliver. Okay, that one's a no-brainer and a slam dunk, because everything always costs more. I'm going to call a gimme on this one, because under any circumstances, you and I both know the rent's going to go up, the lights are going to go up, the heat's going to go up, the supply costs are going to go up. The cost of doing a haircut is going to go up. That's a fact of life. We know and understand that. I want to put a little bit of frosting on that cake by saying the cost to deliver haircuts is going to go up even more, especially in light of the coronavirus situation. Now we have to put in the cost of PPE, the cost of plexiglass sneeze guards on our front desk, the cost of so many, some people are using disposable capes, some people are using face shields, some people are using more rubber gloves, even though rubber gloves are dirtier than hands. Hands with soap and water are cleaner than rubber gloves ever will be. There's your little sanitation tip for the evening. But that being said, rubber gloves are selling like crazy. Bottles of hand sanitizer with a pump on it. You guys know about this stuff. This is not news or new information. But it's going to cost more for each and every one of us at any level in the business. This is not unique to barbershops, or chains, or fancy day spas. At every level of the business, the cost of delivering a haircut is going to continue to go up. I think for the first couple of years, we'll say the balance of 2020 and maybe 1 or 2 years after that, that price, the increase in cost is going to be steeper. It may level out a bit, but it's always going to continue to climb. So haircuts will be slower, and haircuts will cost more to deliver. All right, number 3. Maybe this one's another gimme, but I think it's very important that we talk about it. Haircuts will cost more to purchase. It's going to cost us more money to do haircuts. As a consumer, it's going to cost more money to buy haircuts. It has to. It must. We don't have a choice in this. During coronavirus lockdown, I started the hashtag when we go back, we go up. That was the conversation about when we come back from lockout, we must come back charging more. The foundation of that was the recognition that our costs had gone up. Therefore, we have to be charging more. And in many cases, we bore that out. Now, it's just not that long ago, 26 days to be exact, we celebrated our haircutter holiday, July 1. Raise your haircut prices day in the USA. That just happened too. And depending on when you went back and when you went up, maybe you went back in June, you went up early. Maybe you didn't go back till July, like our friends in the UK. They all went back to work in the United Kingdom July the 4th. Our Independence Day was their day to go back to work. And many of them went up then. In some cases, there are people that aren't back to work, and there are some places where people have been locked out again. When we go back, we go up. And July 1, Raise Your Haircut Prices Day in the USA. I've had a lot of conversation in recent weeks and months specifically addressing these issues for a lot of my friends in the business. So that's 1, 2, and 3. Haircuts will be slower, haircuts will cost more to deliver, and haircuts will cost more to purchase. These were our 3 to start. I want to take a short break, and I just want to acknowledge a free book opportunity. I want you guys to know. 100 by 100. That's the new book that came out in January, right before we stopped doing trade shows and events and things. 100 new haircut customers in 100 days, guaranteed. Day-by-day, step-by-step plan to business building in the haircut business. Now, book costs $20. I want you to have it for free. That's right. I've got a free deal going on right now. If you go to my website and you click on free book deal, and there's a coupon code listed there, you can have the new book for free. You just pay shipping and handling. But you can go on the website and you can get a paper copy, real paper. I have audio and I have digital, but if you want paper, just pay shipping and handling. The book is yours for free. Any day can be day 1. 100 days later, I'm guaranteeing 100 new haircuts. And there's never been a better time to focus on building our business in our business. Think about that. I estimate to be a $100,000 hair cutter, you need 400 customers. Your database needs to be 400 active customers to earn this kind of money. I'm talking about 100 right here. No matter who you are in the business, 100 customers changes your life. If you're brand new in the business, 100 customers is your foundation and launches your career. If you've been around a little while, 100 additional customers, that's a level up. That really transforms your chair. And if you're an established hair cutter with a busy business, 100 new haircut customers, that's a transformation. That's a price increase. That's an unbelievable level up. 100 by 100. It's yours for free. All right, let's get back to the program. Number 4, haircuts will be done by appointment. I am not ready yet to declare the death of the walk-in. I'm not ready yet to declare that there will be no more walk-ins in our business. I think that's more of a bold statement than I wish to make at this point in time. But as we know, in many places, walk-in traffic is being discouraged. And as we know, many of us who have traditionally operated a walk-in only business have come up with some creative strategies for managing the flow of customers. A sign-in sheet on the door, wait in your car, and we will text you. A checklist, a call-in system. There are some pioneers in our industry who are offering a check-in system, much like we see in some non-reservation restaurants now. And there are some cool features coming. Many of you know I have an affiliation with Booksy. If you're not on a platform like Booksy for appointment booking, just reach out to me. I'll be happy to get you codes and free trials and all the help you need. But the reality is, as our business slows, fewer haircuts per day, fewer haircuts per week, fewer of us can afford empty spaces. We cannot afford downtime during the day. We cannot afford to not be cutting hair. And that's where I see the imperative for more of us, even if it wasn't mandated or dictated by the need for social distancing. This isn't necessarily a coronavirus issue. This is a productivity issue. This is a client traffic flow issue and a business management issue. More and more of our business will be moving to an appointment-based system, and it needs to, in order for us to reduce the amount of non-productive downtime that we experience on a daily basis. Number 5, tied to this appointment conversation. And again, some of these, I didn't really have to put too much shine on my crystal ball to be able to see these things happening. So when you hear some of these, instead of thinking, well, gee, Ivan, that was obvious. Thank you, Captain Obvious. The bigger piece of this is how these things all tie together as the overall shift and the direction of the trend of our business. Haircuts will be slower. Haircuts will cost more to deliver. Haircuts will cost more to purchase. We're going to need to be appointment focused. More and more haircuts. Here we go, number 5. More and more haircuts, a greater percentage of our business will be conducted with plastic. Cash in the haircut business is going to be going away little by little by little, more and more and more. It's already been happening. We know the trends in the industry towards plastic have told us for years. Clients spend more with plastic. They buy more take-home hair care product when they buy with plastic. They tip better when they buy with plastic. They buy more add-on and impulse services when they buy with plastic. These things have all been very, very good for our business. That trend will continue. There will be more and more of that. Now, of course, we have the advantage that plastic is no touch, no filthy dollars, no Corona coins, no concern over the things we're touching. Also understand that this shift to plastic is tied to the shift to appointments, because many of the appointment systems allow for what we'll call an Uber experience. And by that we mean you use your telephone to click to make an appointment. You use your telephone to click, confirm. The telephone is used to click, check you in. The telephone is used to click, check you out. And if these systems retain credit card information, the whole transaction is seamless. It's just clicks. And we don't even talk about it. Haircut, boom, done. You can program in the gratuity amount and never have to think about it again. So, something to think about. Plastic also means more taxes. Everything's on the table. Alexander, plastic also means more taxes. Everything's on the table. Absolutely, amen. Plastic requires 100% transparency, 100% compliance with the law. Report everything you earn, pay tax on everything you earn. And guys, if we learn nothing from coronavirus, everybody out there who was off the books, living with unreported income, either did not get a stimulus check because you weren't logging income, or you were not able to file for unemployment because you weren't employed. And there was a lot of hollering and moaning and wailing on social media about people declaring some of this an injustice, but one of the realities was, if you never paid in, It's not going to pay out. That was just a matter of chickens coming home to roost with respect to the fairness of the industry. Kelly Samuel says, my guys only do cash. Kelly, I see your comment. I understand where you're coming from. I guarantee you are not the only person who can hear my voice right now or who will listen to this program on replay at some point in the future who shares that situation. And I can only tell you, this is how the industry is changing. The cash is going to become much, much harder to come by in all forms of commerce, and our industry is going to be catching up. This is predictions for the future. And guys, the future is a long, long time. The future is not only tomorrow, because tomorrow is the future, but it's also next week, next month, next year, next decade. And guys, I'm not going to be here at some point in the future. And I'm not telling you all of these things are all going to come true 100% by the end of the week. Or between now and when they have a vaccine for coronavirus, if they ever do. I'm not putting an end date on a lot of this. I'm just calling the future. I just want to see, there's one more comment here. Application to old school. Okay, yeah. All right. Haircuts will be by appointment. Haircuts will be paid for with plastic. Okay. Number 6. This is one where I would invite any of you and all of you to continue this conversation after we're finished in the comments on the Facebook page. We can talk about it in any of the forums in which we converse. I'm probably going to post each one of these to Instagram for individual comment and conversation, because I think there's some fuel here for some real interesting interaction. Number 6 on the list for the future of the professional haircut industry. Haircuts are going to evolve from fashion to function. There's a biggie right there. Haircuts are going to evolve from fashion to function. I am not saying that we will not care about fashion anymore. Don't hear me say that. That's not what I said. But what I am saying is, I think we're going to see some trends in fashion, in the fashion of haircuts, that reflect a nod towards some specific functionality. Well, what do I mean by that? Let me get specific. Number 1, the beard trend. As a result of the need to wear masks, and I will make the statement, masks are not going away anytime soon. You better have a mask for spring, for fall. You better have a fancy mask for holiday parties. You better have a casual mask for the beach. You better have special occasion masks and everyday masks. And it is what it is. It's real, folks. Masks are going to be around for a while. That being said, you can't stuff that big old hipster beard into a mask in a particularly workable and comfortable manner. As a result, I know a lot of people in the beauty industry have been taking a lot of beards down lower. I'm not saying facial hair will go away, but I'm saying trends in facial hair will reflect the reality of masks. Another thing that I think is going to be an example of function following fashion, or fashion following function in haircutting, is longer hair. I think we're going to see people wearing their hair longer because they're going to be staying away from the barber shop. I think weekly haircuts are not happening to the extent that they used to. Bi-weekly haircuts, twice a month haircuts are not happening to the extent that they were not so very long ago. Some of this has to do with haircuts are slower and productivity is down. A single haircutter cannot cut as many people. We're talking about Ivan right here. Ivan is the guy that cuts 6 or 7 heads every hour in the shop. Well, if I'm not in the shop right now, were I to go back to the shop right now, and I'm not going back at this point in time, but if I did go back, I would not be cutting 6 or 7. There's just not, it's not possible to move that kind of volume through the business under the present circumstances. So with capacity down and productivity down, fewer appointment spaces, people are going to respond to that by gapping out a little bit. Gapping out haircuts means longer hair. So this is what I mean when I talk about this, and I'm curious to know, I would love to hear from a bunch of you about some of your thoughts on this hair, fashion, and function issue. What about issues of, I'm thinking about this with ladies' hair. What about issues of, if the mask doesn't go behind the ears and we've got the strap around the head, what's that doing to my do? Are we crushing my poof? Are we messing with my layering? Is my bob getting crushed under the elastic band of a round the head face mask? And what about all these mullets? Everybody who's got the flow moving on. Hockey hair. You got all this hair on the back of the head, and then now I'm going to strap it onto the back of my head with the elastic on a face mask. I don't know, guys. Look at my hair. Short like this. Perfect for a face mask. Maybe I'm just trendy for the first time in my life. What can I tell you? All right. Quick pause right here for another mention of a opportunity I want you guys to know about. Special. Right now, I have a free, again, free, remember? Free book deal, free download. Go to my website. IvanZoot.com. Go to the website. Right now, I have an offer on the website. Just click for a free download document. It is a PDF document of my 7 steps for better client consultation. Client Consultation Accelerators. It's a free 7-step program, how to do better client consultations in the interest of long-term client satisfaction and customer retention. It's my 7 steps for better consultation, and I want you to have that document totally free. Just click on it, load in your information, get your download. You're not spending any money. It's free from me. The other thing I want to talk about before we get to point number 7, back in stock for the first time in a while. Many of you have bought these off my website before. These are no-slip clipper grip bands. Those are the bands, the little ones fit on the trimmers, and the big ones fit on the clippers. They're back in stock. They were out of stock for a little while. I got them back in stock on the website, shipping immediately. Mixed, metallic, all black, and mixed on the small ones. Go online, get yourself some clipper grip bands. They're back in stock. And we're back with the program. All right, guys. 7. Number 7 on our list. Haircut business and marketing. Business and marketing in the haircut business will focus on the optics of sanitation. Now I want you to listen carefully to what I just said. Haircut business and marketing will focus on the optics of sanitation. Well, what do I mean by that? What I mean by optics of sanitation is, what does your sanitation behavior look like? I'm not talking about whether the counter is clean or the floors are clean or the bathroom is clean. I'm talking about, does it look like you have a focus on sanitation and infection control? I cannot underscore how important this is. Yes, this is 100% now driven by concern and focus on coronavirus. Okay. By concern and focus on coronavirus. Pardon me, I got a little distracted over here. I'm getting cueing from my coach in the background there. We've heard stories. And think about it. I want to know if you've heard these stories as well. We've heard stories from people who have gone to a barbershop or hair salon after coronavirus lockdown to get a haircut, and who have been very disturbed or very upset by what they saw. It just didn't feel like they were safe. I just didn't feel comfortable in that shop. I'm just not comfortable going back. People who came back after Corona lockout once and then made the decision not to go back to that shop because they didn't feel safe. We've heard this a lot. We've overwhelmingly heard a lot of this from a lot of senior citizens and older folks. People who might fit into a higher risk category who absolutely didn't feel comfortable. We're hearing lots of stories on social media about attitudes with regards to masks and face shields and other forms of PPE. You know, the temperature taking thing was a perfect example of this. There was a lot of chatter on the web about the states where they were requiring people to be checking temperatures on people that came in for haircuts. Now, in reality, the temperature taking is kind of silly for a couple of reasons. Reason number one is the margin for error on the thermometers is too great. The tools are not accurate enough. Reason number two is that the temperature is only as accurate as the person taking it. Are you taking my temperature off my forehead, or are you taking the temperature of the front window behind me because your aim is not that good? Don't think it's not happening. And the other element of it is, and we heard a lot of this, that it's estimated that something like 24% of the people who are COVID-19 positive actually ever display a fever, actually ever have an elevated fever. So the reality is the temperature taking thing was kind of silly, but it wasn't. And here's why. Optics. Not every consumer is well educated about those issues I just raised for the inaccuracy, the inconsistency of taking temperatures. And there are a lot of consumers out there who, if they saw you taking temperatures of clients on the way into your shop, just because we all know taking temperatures doesn't really do us any good. It doesn't mean that customers don't feel good about it. It doesn't give them, even if false, a sense of comfort or security. And this is where I use the word optics. It's how does it look and how does it feel to our customers who are patronizing our business. It's not about whether or not you're clean. It's whether you feel clean. It's not about whether or not you're safe. It's whether people feel safe. And this is what's important. So you as a business owner are going to be burdened with the responsibility to see to it that you create the feeling of safe. It's always been the case with things like dumping the barbicide jar. It's always been the case, and I have been known for years. Anybody that knows Ivan knows, what's that? No, yeah. Anybody that knows Ivan knows one of my favorite expressions has always been, get caught sanitizing. And Alexander said, perception is safety. That's what I'm talking about. You know, if you're going to mix barbicide, don't mix barbicide after hours when the shop is closed. Dump the jar before you go home and load the jar in the morning in front of a waiting room full of people. Well, there's no waiting room full of people, but you know what I mean, where people can see it. People need to see these things. If you're going to throw razor blades in the sharps bin, don't have the sharps bin in the dispensary. Have the sharps bin out on the counter. If you're going to have a sharps bins are like $3 for the little ones. Have one on every station. Been screaming for years about Clippercide. Clippercide kills stuff. That's what this says to a customer. That is sanitation optics. Number 8. Haircutters and haircut businesses will need to generate more money from non-haircut sources. Things like take-home hair care. And much of that revenue needs to happen online. I'm going to read that one again right out of my notes. Haircutters and haircut businesses will need to generate more money from non-haircut sources like take-home hair care product, and much of that revenue must be generated online. I know a lot of people that when coronavirus hit and they locked their doors, they were able to continue to make money because they had already established a strong relationship with their customers with the sale of professional take-home hair care product. Their customers were already very comfortable buying their Clipper Guy stuff from them. So when they couldn't get a haircut, not only could they continue to buy product, but in many cases it gave people a way to continue to do business with us and to continue to support us. Hey, you can't come get a haircut right now, but buy some sauce from me, buy a bottle or two of my Clipper Guy liquids, would help me a lot so I can feed the kids. That was real for so many people. And I'm not going to tell you, my phone wasn't ringing off the hook with people scrambling to get involved in product during the lockdown because they couldn't make money another way. In the old days, for many, many years, everybody talked about 10% retail, 10% retail. You got to be generating 10% of your total business from the sale of products. 10%, 10%. 10%'s gone, my friends. Right now, 30 to 50. You should be generating north of 30% of your revenue. We're talking the future. If you're hovering around 12 right now, 12% of your money's coming from product, great. We just got to see that number start to climb. We've just got to see you've got to see you begin to do more and more business in the business of product. Generating revenue where you can. Productivity is down, traffic is down, head count is down. That means each and every head, see how these all tie together? Each and every head needs to be more productive at the cash register. Number 9. This one's an interesting one. And again, they all dovetail. Haircut businesses meaning shops and salons. Haircut businesses will be getting bigger and smaller. Haircut businesses will be getting bigger and smaller. Okay, Ivan, what the heck does that mean? Well, number 1, fewer haircutters per business. Because of the need for social distancing, we've got to use every other chair in a lot of our current shops. A lot of shops as they exist right now, people are on top of each other, and we can only use every other chair. So it's getting smaller. 5-chair shop, 3 haircutters. 8-chair shop, 4 haircutters. The business is getting smaller, and these businesses are getting bigger. If you're going to run a 5-chair shop, you need at least 50% more square footage. So in order to stay the same size, your shop's going to need to be physically larger. We're going to need more room. You know, there's some shops in my community, some little old barber shops in my community that have 2 chairs in what is the size of a bathroom. That can't work anymore. That's just not where the future of our industry is headed. That sizing is just not going to work. Now, somebody just said, I'm the only barber in my shop. Yeah, single chair suites. Single chair suites is both the business getting bigger and smaller. Because, think about it. If you're one guy at one chair in one shop, you've got about 25 square feet. 5 by 5, 5 by 5, with your chair in the middle. That's 25 square feet. If you're one person renting a salon suite, that's 10 by 10. That's 100 square feet. That is 4 times the amount of room that you had in a shop with others. So you have gotten both bigger and smaller. Do you guys see how that fit together? I'm kind of proud of that one. I thought that was kind of cool. The business is getting bigger and smaller at the same time. Number 10. Before we go there, I've got one more featured item of the week. Many of you know I've been talking about item of the week quite a bit every week. These are styptic matches. If you have not used these, if you don't know about these, if you don't have these in your station, every hair cutter should have a package of styptic matches. These look like, well, matches. That's right. Looks like a book of matches. 20 of them right there in a little book inside this little box. Styptic. You've got a nick, you've got a razor nick, you've got some bleeders from shaving. Styptic pencils cannot be used in a shop. They're contaminated, they're nasty. No go. Styptic liquid is messy. Styptic powder is sloppy. These are matches. You tear one off of the book just like a book of matches. You wet it with a water bottle, or you wet it under a faucet if you have running water at your sink, and you simply tap it on a bleeder. It immediately stops the bleeding. And then you throw it in the sharps bin like any other contaminated waste, like razor blades. You throw it away. There's 20 of them in a book. You should have these, every hair cutter should have these in their station. They come 3 packs, 3 books in a bundle on my website. They're on sale this week at ivanzoot.com. They are also a terrific retail item. You don't buy styptic when you need it. You buy styptic before you need it. So you have it when you need it. Styptic matches on your front desk. Every guy walking in, talk about raising your retail sales. Boom, there's the item. I do have a 24 count retail deal for resale purposes, slightly lower price. Hit me up with a message, send me an email, DM me through any social media channel. If you want the 24 count package at the special wholesale price, I don't have that on the website right now. I have additional inventory coming in. Ultimately, I will have the 24 pack on the website, but I don't have that there yet. That's by special order directly with me. Get some styptic matches. They're safe. They're sanitary. They meet that optic requirement because they see you throwing them away. What a great product. Got to get some. Number 10 on our list. And I want to remind you, before we go to number 10, before we wrap up the program, get your free copy of 100 by 100. Just pay shipping and handling. Get your copy of $100,000 Hair Cutter. I also have the 4-book bundle. If you want a discount, want a big savings, 100 by 100, $100,000 Hair Cutter, big and bigger. Big Busy Barbershop, Bigger Busy Barbershop. These are my marketing books, year 1, year 2, weeks 1 through 52, 53 through 104. The 4-book bundle is on sale, no code needed, on the website. Go there. Download your 7-step consultation program. It's a freebie. It's on the website at ivanzoot.com. Go there and get that for yourself as well. No slips, styptic matches, and all the great things you know and love. Number 10, predictions for the future of the professional beauty and barber industry. I'm going to end on a high note. I'm going to end with what I call good news for all of us. In the future, in the professional beauty and barber industry, hair cutters are going to get healthier. That's good news. We, the professionals of the professional beauty and barber industry, are going to be healthier in the future. We have to. We're going to be on our feet like we've always been. The days aren't going to be getting any shorter. We're going to be breathing our own carbon dioxide behind a mask and a face shield. You're going to have better cardiovascular condition. We're going to be getting up earlier. We're going to be walking, or we're going to be running, or we're going to be cycling. We're going to be getting better exercise. We're going to be eating better. We have to. It is not going to be possible to take care of our customers in the manner in which we need to if we aren't first taking care of ourselves. You know, we started this program with the tip from $100,000 Hair Cutter. Hold up a quarter. That's not really about doing better haircuts. That's about protecting your wrists from carpal tunnel syndrome. That's protecting your shoulders, protecting your back. The expression I've always used is, you can't take care of them if you don't take care of you. Our business has always been and always will be about taking care of people. Guys, it's never been about the haircuts. I know that's troubling for some of you to hear this, but our business is not the business of haircuts. If you got into the haircut business because you thought the haircut business was the business of cutting hair, you're in the wrong business. The haircut business is the business of building and maintaining relationships with people. Never before has this been more apparent. As we talked earlier about the speed of service, customers needing to talk, to be heard, and to listen. Customers interacting with us in different ways than they ever have before. They will still rely on us for their haircuts, and they will still rely on us for their products. But they've relied on us for stability. They now rely on us for safety. They rely on us for compassion. They rely on us for health, and they rely on us for wellness. And this begins with each and every one of us. So as we close out this program, we're coming up on about 50 minutes. We'll spend a little bit of time for Q&A. If there's anybody that's got any questions, I'll let you guys. Looking like we got about 40 people here on the Zoom feed. So as long as we maintain some sense of order and organization, I will switch it so that anybody that wishes to can unmute the microphones. If anybody wants to specifically ask anything, thank you. This is priceless. I appreciate that comment. Thank you so much. I want to leave everybody with the thought and the wish. You're going to be able to go back and watch this on replay if you missed anything or if you want to talk further on it. I'm always here if you want to reach out to me for comments, conversation, engagement, and questions. But start by taking care of you. You've always been good at taking care of them. I think the future of the professional haircutting industry is good, and it's bright, and it's strong. This is still a career that I'm very happy to be involved in, and it's still a career that I recommend to other people. Because in the United States of America, in the professional beauty and barber industry, the streets of America are still paved in gold. Even if that gold is wearing a face mask and slathered in hand sanitizer. Thank you all for being here. We'll do a little Q&A if you got it. What do you got?
Two things. Scott Sales wants to know what happens to the amount of clients a barber needs if haircuts become longer. What would the new number be?
If Scott wants to know what happens to the number of clients needed if haircuts become longer. If the question is, do hairstyles get longer and people gap out their appointments? If you experience a significant level of appointment stretching, and the 400 number is really based on the notion of a mix. The 400 number is based on the idea that you've got some clients that get 2 haircuts a year. Christmas and Easter in order to go to mom's house for dinner. But you've got other clients who might get 2 haircuts a week, and everybody else falls somewhere between those 2 customers. If your business begins to skew towards farther gapped out haircuts, there is a number at which you will need to have a few more customers to continue to be full and busy. And full and busy will yield that $100,000 haircut or number. I would guess that if 50% of your clients extend their appointment times by 50%, whatever their numbers are, I'm just doing the raw math in my head. If 50% of your customers gap out by 50%, you will probably need an additional 20% of customers. You won't need a lot more, but you probably need 20 to 25% more. You won't need that full 50% more. So 400 would turn into 500. It's not a lot more customers. Other question?
Lisa Vanderbeek said, please repeat safety, health, compassion, and...
I don't remember what I said. I'm not working off notes. The question was safety, health, compassion. They've relied on us for safety. They rely on us for compassion. They rely on us for the awareness of health and sanitation. They rely on us for the services that we provide. I'll have to watch it on replay to know exactly what I said. Apparently it was good because you wanted to hear it again. But, I'm not that good that I remember exactly what I said. Come on, I make stuff up as I go. No, that's not true. I actually had real notes. Any other questions or comments? Question from somebody here. How many people are doing shaves and beard trims during this COVID, and how and what are your procedures? We're not going to really get into the full detail on that. I will say the city of Chicago, and I live outside the city in the burbs, has declared facial hair services and skincare services on the face no go, no fly zone, not allowed in the city of Chicago. I know some folks that are doing these. They're masked up. They've got a face shield on, but the client is fully exposed. I'm going to leave that to each and every one of your individual discretion as to whether you believe you should be performing those services right now. I will share with you. They wouldn't be happening in a business that I own, and I would not be providing those services in a business owned by someone else right now. That answer might change at some point in the future, but right now, no go. Anybody else? Do you see any other questions that need to be addressed?
No.
Okay. All right, folks. If you need me, you want to talk to me, you want to continue this conversation, there's only about 900,000 ways to find me online, on the internet, on social media, on my email. Call me on the phone, send me a letter, actually write something in the mail. I'll open it with gloves, I won't touch it, but you know how it goes. If you want to find me, we can make that happen. Thank you so much for being here. Go online, get the free book, get the free downloads, and get more information when and where I can provide it for you. Thank you so much. And have a great night. We're out on Zoom, and we'll be out on Facebook in a moment. And we're going to leave this up on repeat for Facebook for the whole week. Have a great day. Bye-bye.